Bossa Nova Research Project Outcome 3 by Stephen Mooney. The contents of this research project shall include history, musical features, social features, cultural features, contribution of significant exponents, significant developments, and a final conclusion. History. Bossa Nova, subgenre of samba, was developed in 1956 in the Copacabana neighbourhood of Rio de Janeiro. Its originators were middle-class students, artists and musicians who came together to develop a new sound based on the traditions of Brazil with influences from American jazz. These originators took inspiration from Brazilian high life with lyrical themes such as beach culture, beautiful women, and nature used to show the lifestyle of those who are given the privilege to enjoy it. Cultural features. Cultural diversity. The term Bossa Nova, meaning new wave in Portuguese, is the combination of African American traditional music through jazz with Brazilian samba rhythms, creating a culturally diverse genre. The genre defines national identity for Brazilians and crossed international waters to become successful worldwide, reaching audiences in the USA, which took inspiration, evolving their own music. Cultural factors, national identity. Bossa Nova's main cultural factor is its national identity to the Brazilian people. Its combination of contemporary music with rhythms, traditions found in folk music, would give a new platform for the resurgence to genres such as samba and would become the backbone of Bossa Nova. Borrowed rhythms and vocal style used to create reflective works describing modern living with carefree ideals. The evolution of samba when combined with the exploratory themes which would bring Brazil out of cultural isolation caused by its nationalistic agenda set from its dictating regime. Cultural features, politics. Its popularity with younger generations developed a youthful celebration of romance and their beach culture. Underlying this celebration was the reflection on politics within the region. Much of the population were divided on the introduction of American culture on Brazil, with many rejecting the modernisation and non-political art forms that followed. Social features, the middle class. Bossa Nova has affected the social landscape of Brazil since its inception. Its development from middle-class musicians would bring a lifestyle perspective not shared by many of the population. The sensibilities of affluent areas were recognised by many internationally as the ideals of the American dream and caused a cultural exchange most notable from Frank Sinatra's cover of The Girl from Ipanema. Social features, female representation. Female representation became a significant factor in the social standing of Bossa Nova, with many of the musicians found within being female. Vocalists such as Astrid Gilberto and Joyce Moreno would give women a literal voice. Undoubtedly, without them, they would not have reached the foreign audiences using their subtle, non-operatic timbre found in traditional Caboclo folk style. International appeal. Bossa Nova gained international appeal and cultivated a global audience. Brazilian politics was nationalistic in nature, giving a rise to a new wave of Brazilian identity, which captured international attention due to its positive connotations. The international appeal would be no more obvious than in the USA. The cultural exchange from Brazil to the United States would give a direct influence to the genre and further the appeal, with many finding Bossa Nova to be a massive influence on American music. This is no more apparent in the world famous song The Girl from Ipanema, winning a Grammy in 1965, with a cover from Frank Sinatra following soon after in 1967. Musical features, rhythm, the Brazilian clave. Bossa Nova's quintessential feature is its rhythm, found in much of its traditional Brazilian folk music. These rhythms are used frequently in a 3-against-2 feel, which is often played by drummers to lay the foundation for other rhythms to be placed atop of. Unlike Afro-Cuban counterparts, the Bossa Nova rhythm does not feature the percussion instrument known as the clave. Instead, the pattern is known as the Brazilian clave and was used as a rhythmic motif to convey its relaxed style. I will now demonstrate the rhythmic quality of bossa nova within the song Castaways by the Backyardigans, which feature the Brazilian clave along with many other rhythms which complement the clave. Musical features: harmony. The integration of American jazz in combination with samba resulted in much of the harmonic content found within jazz to be used in bossa nova. Upper extension chords such as dominant sevenths, major sevenths, minor sevenths and half diminished are used heavily to complement the complex emotions found within the music. Typical dense chords are not found within the genre and instead are spread across multiple melodic instruments sharing common harmony, and using concepts such as parallel melody and accompaniment of the vocalists. I will now demonstrate the harmonic quality of bossa nova within the song The Girl from Ipanema by João Gilberto. This song features much of the chords previously mentioned, but also uses concepts such as tritone substitution to use non-diatonic chords in its overall harmonic structure. Dynamic playing is integral to the style and tonality. Dynamics are used in all instrumentation to emphasise rhythms, of which bossa nova is known for. The distinct timbre of louder dynamics on stronger beats and softer on the downbeats gives the style movement and a push and pull feel. The dynamics aren't just found in the rhythmic instruments but also in the vocal style of many singers in the genre. The Cabloco folk tradition gave vocalists a nasal and softer tonality from the operatic styles found in modern music of the day. I will now demonstrate the dynamic quality of bossa nova within the song Falling Behind by Longfay. This song features the dynamic trademark previously mentioned, but also features sections in which it drastically moves to quieter sections, shown in the end of the piece.
Don't you notice how I get quiet when there's no one else around? Me and you in awkward silence. Don't you dare look at me that way. I don't need reminders of how you don't feel the same. Oh, the burning pain, listening to you harp on about some new soulmate. She's so perfect, blah blah blah. Oh, how I wish you'll wake up one day, run to me, confess your love. At least just let me say that when I talk to you, oh Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart. And I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it to confess I loved you from the start. What's a girl to do? Lying on my bed, staring into the blue. Unrequited, terrifying love is driving me a bit insane. Have to get this off my chest. I'm telling you today that when I talk to you, oh Cupid walks right through and shoots an arrow through my heart. And I sound like a loon, but don't you feel it to confess I love you from the start? Confess I loved you, just thinking of you. I know I've loved you from the start.
The end of the piece. Significant exponents. João Gilberto. João Gilberto was born on the 10th of June 1931 in the Juarez region of Brazil. Gilberto was a composer and guitarist known as the pioneer of bossa nova. He's often known as the father of bossa nova, with his legendary work on Gets Gilberto, with a notably world famous The Girl from Ipanema winning a Grammy in 1965. His work in the style, along with high standards, meant that the music created within the genre was dense in harmony and cultivated the best musicians of the Copacabana region to create the bossa nova family, consisting of Gilberto, Jobim and Getz. Significant exponents: Antonio Carlos Jobim, Tom Jobim. Born on the 25th of January 1927, Tom Jobim was a significant figurehead in bossa nova, often being cited as being involved in the discovery through small jazz clubs in which he played with long-time collaborator João Gilberto. These clubs would host US jazzmen who would make the original connections to the genre through Jobim and Gilberto. Jobim is also widely considered to have created the first bossa nova song, named Chinga de Said, or No More Blues in 1958. This would spark the development of the new genre with an album of the same name following in 1959. Significant developments: the birth of bossa. Possibly the most significant development in the genre of bossa nova was its inception. Its origins can be found in the main exponent of Antonio Carlos, or Tom Jobim, and his work on the theatre show Musica de Alfredo de Cancio in 1956 by Vinícius de Moraes. The play was based upon the Greek tragedy of Orpheus and Eurydice and would inspire the 1959 film Black Orpheus, which contained Chenga de la Suite, which is widely considered as the first bossa nova song. Political divide. Another significant development in the early years of bossa nova is its contrast between fundamental themes of beach culture, youthful romance and the pursuit of women, conveyed by the carefree lifestyle of the middle class citizens, and the majority of the population being from working class backgrounds. Representation was not found within bossa nova for much of Brazil's population, despite it sweeping the nation. This is where the musical split would occur into Musica Popular Brasileira, which represented anti-nationalistic ideals and outside influences such as rock and jazz to express the thoughts, and would become the main theme of this subgenre, as bossa nova faced censorship from the Brazilian government due to its authoritarian values. Significant development: expansion to the USA. During the early 60s, 1962, Stan Getz and Charlie Bird would release Jazz Samba under Verve Records. This record would spend 70 weeks on top 100 charts, overtaking names such as the Beach Boys, Ray Charles and Elvis Presley. The album would not only launch bossa nova into further success, but would also define both musicians' careers and international markets. International markets. The bossa nova revolution inspired many artists such as Oscar Peterson, Wes Montgomery and Cannonball Adderley, who used the improvisational aspects along with the rhythmic patterns in their own music, which developed the face of American jazz. Bossa nova inspired many artists to incorporate these central components into their own music, but none would be more significant of an exponent than Frank Sinatra. Sinatra would cover the infamous The Girl from Ipanema with Antonio Carlos Jobim, and would later dedicate albums worth to the Brazilian art form. Evolution and influence. Bossa nova's significant impact on popular music has been represented through its use in pop culture. Songs such as The Girl from Ipanema and Desafinado have become synonymous with laid-back lifestyles and relaxed aesthetics. Despite its relegation to elevator music, the waves that were made still ripple today through modern jazz artists such as Adam Neely and his cover of Castaways by the Backyardigans with Martina de Silva, and pop artists such as Laufey and her song Falling Behind. Both examples take significant inspiration from the genre and could be considered extensions of it. Despite its decline from the 1960s, its influence still echoes in the modern music, with many discovering the genre and taking its components for their own. In conclusion, I believe that bossa nova to be a groundbreaking genre which is underappreciated in the modern day. Its use of multiple genres for inspiration, along with significant developments in rhythm and harmony, have put Brazil on the map as an epicentre of innovation. Its evolution from samba and jazz has influenced many to create their own music, which pushes boundaries and encourages musicians new to the style to explore further. Overall, I wish for bossa nova to be achieved with mainstream success like it once did in the 1960s, through modern day artists such as Laufey, using the fundamental aspects of the genre to explore and combine other genres to create a new wave of music.